Hi K-Stars, happy Friday. Let's read our morning message. Good morning K-Stars. Today is Friday, May 22nd, 2020. Let's look at what different parts of the plant do. Lots of sight words in there. So let's cross off today on the calendar. There's a couple things coming up on the calendar that I want to point out to you. So one thing is, I talked about this in my snack group yesterday. This little dark circle means that tonight is a new moon, which means that you're not going to be able to see the light shining on the moon, so you won't actually be able to see the moon at all. So from now on, the moon will start getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it is full, and then it will start getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's called waxing and waning. So waning is when it's getting smaller, waxing is when it's getting bigger. Tomorrow is a holiday that some people celebrate called Eid. So if you celebrate Eid, happy Eid. And then on Monday, we don't have school because the United States celebrates Memorial Day on Monday. And that's a time when people remember people who were soldiers or in the Navy who died in wars. So a lot of people go and put flowers on gravestones and things like that to remember the people who died in different wars. So those are the important things coming up on the calendar. So let's take a look at these parts of the plant that are important and what they do. So the first one is the seed. And remember, we talked about how the seed it holds within it the beginnings of a new plant, and it holds enough food in it to make the plant grow until it's big enough to make its own food. So that's one important part of a plant. The other important part, this is one of my favorite parts for some reason, are the roots. And the roots help hold the plant in place. They're also important because they help hold soil in place, right? We learned about that. And the roots suck up water and nutrients from the soil to help the plant grow. Another important part of the plant is the stem. Now, the stem is important because it holds the plant up, right? It helps those leaves reach the sunlight. So that's definitely important. But it also takes up water and food from the roots up to the rest of the plant, okay? So it's kind of like a straw. That's what I want you to think of the stem as being, like a straw. All right, the leaf, a very important part of a plant because it makes food and energy for the rest of the plant to grow, right? Remember we learned about how the leaf takes in the sunshine and turns and uses carbon dioxide, which is the stuff that we breathe out, right, to produce oxygen, which is the stuff that we breathe in. So this is a very important part of the plant for us because it gives us something we need to grow. And then we've got the flower. Now, we know the flower is important because it's what happens right before we get the seeds again to start the cycle again through a fruit or a pod often. But flowers are also really important because they attract pollinators. So bees, hummingbirds, butterflies, moths, these are all animals that spread pollen from one flower to another so that they can produce new seeds. All right, so those are all the important parts of the plants that we're going to talk about today. We'll talk more about it next week. Let's sing our little song before we move on to the rest of our day. All right, so it's called A Seed Needs. And remember, it's to this tune that goes, ta-da-da-boom-dee. Okay. I see you are a seed. Tell me, what do you need? I need some soil to grow, and then the sun to glow, water to make me wet, air for my leaves to get, space for my roots to spread. Now I'm a plant. This might be my new favorite song and poem. All right, so today Mrs. Sheree is going to come on with a literacy game, and we have a live sketching with me at 10:30, and I'm going to teach you some new shape games, and then we've got read aloud about a flower garden from Miss Alba, and a really cool video for Mindful Minute. However, it is beautiful outside today. It's warm, and I expect that you are going to be going out to play, and I hope that you have a lot of fun outside today. All right, so if you don't get to these videos, it's not a big deal. I want you to play outside. Enjoy.